Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. We are on the third and final installation of my Cupcake Polish haul swatching video series. In this video you will see the 2-coat results, and then I will share my thoughts as well as showing you how I assembled my 2-tone swatch sticks. So let's get started. Unfortunately, I had some technical issues with the soundtrack for this reveal portion, but it will be back to the original recorded soundtrack for the thoughts portion. Okay, so here are our 2 coats, all dry. I have the flash on my cell phone, so hopefully you'll be able to see all of the hollow and the iridescent flakies and the glitter. Everything is still spinny and blurry, so I can't really tell in the screen if this is in focus or not, but blurry is better for hollow anyway, right? Okay, so as I mentioned, I was going to take the 2 pieces and attach them together. I tried to with tacky glue, but there's actually a little bit of a gap between these 2. So if I put them together, you can kind of see how it smushes in. So I used hot glue to actually fill in that gap. So I've got the 2 sides. I've just got a little champagne type cup or wine goblet or whatever that I got from the dollar store. And I'll be putting those in here for the current time being. And you can see both sides of it. I just thought that'd be kind of neat. I have no idea if I'll continue doing this, but I thought it'd be pretty good. That might actually be a craft that I do later on, because I'm actually wanting to create essentially a rainbow. So have ROYGBID, the red, orange, yellow, and have in these cups. So, but there's that. But while I was polishing, I wanted to, a couple of them reminded me of something that I'd had. As you all know, I didn't get into indies until, it was actually March or April of 2018. So I'm coming up on my 1 year. So you can see we have our Cupcake Polish icing, which is that holographic, linear holographic. It's listed as a top coat, or it's advertised as a top coat, and it made me think of this ILNP Mega, and I was just curious how they compared. I don't have a lot of these things, but I was just curious, so I went ahead and did a swatch of Mega off camera, and I know this Mega it's not really a top coat. Even with just 1 coat, you can't see the color underneath of it. I had done a nail art piece and then wanted to use this as a holographic top coat on top of it, and it ruined the whole thing. You couldn't see any of the design underneath of it. And then this one is the Cupcake Polish brand, the icing. And I was just curious how they compared. And they're both a good dense linear, but you can see on this icing, you still can see a good bit of that black kind of coming through from underneath. You can still see my fingernail, the smile line on my fingernail here. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this way, probably. You can see the smile line on my fingernail right there. So you can actually see through it, whereas this one, you can't. And there's no smile line at all. And this is 2 coats as well, because I'm going to compare apples to apples. But I was curious how they compared. I like this because I think I actually could use it. Now seeing it side by side, I think I actually could still use this as a linear holographic topper. Whereas at first I was worried that I'd have the same problem that I would have with the Mega. So there's that one. I was curious about that. And then this one, this is the cupcake frosting. And I had a Sally Hansen Big Shimmer top coat, and I was curious how they went side by side because I had used this Big Shimmer top coat on a couple of different polishes early in the when I first started doing nail art, and when I put it on black, it showed up. I did a swatch on this as well. It showed up as green, like this. But when I put it on another color, I think when I put it on red, it showed up as a different color. So I was curious if they were anything at all alike. But this opalescent, it has green reflecting in it on the black side, but it's a lot of red. You can see the red, the orange, the yellow, the green. I mean, it's a much more broad spectrum than the Sally Hansen. The Sally Hansen, you've got your green, you've got some yellow, maybe a little bit of a gold shimmer to it, but it really doesn't have a wide spectrum. I also like how both of this is two coats, but I also like how this frosting is spaced out and it would be a great topper. Both of these are two coats, and you can see there's very little room for the polish underneath to come out. I mean, if you did one coat, that might be okay. I do like it on the clear because it will become opaque fairly quicker, but I like the idea of that. Now on this one you can actually see some blue, but you're still getting the same colors on this clear one that you're getting on this one. They're just not showing up as boldly. You're still getting your reds, you're still getting your golds, you're still getting that flash of green. Like I said, I thought I saw a little bit of blue, but the colors are pretty much the same. Just curious. So that is that. I was curious. So if you'd like to see how I actually put these together, just since we're here, flip them over. I've just got this little cheap hot glue, and I'm going all the way up one side, very, very thick, and then I'm going back down the other side, really, really thick, and then I actually take it kind of lightly up the center, and I'm trying to work it fairly quickly, and lay the clear one on top and line it up so that my holes match, so that my sides are straight. I squeeze it together, and it's still warm. You can feel it coming through that plastic. But then, because I've got my craft paper down, while it's still hot, I take any excess that come out, kind of squish and slide it off. It's not perfect, and here I am using my nails as tools, but not having my tools out right now. And it actually makes it a lot easier. It doesn't bounce, and it's stable. So I'm very happy about that. I'll do another one, just in case you want to see. Heavy up one side. Heavy down the other side. Right up across the middle, just to fill in any gaps. Apparently people spin it around to keep the string from going. Line it up as quick as you can. So that your circle is lined up and the edges are straight, and anything that comes out, try and rub it off. Later on I might actually take something and scrape it off once it dries a little better. But it also helps to fill in those little sharp edges. It doesn't take much. You can see, I'm just kind of rubbing it. And there's the icing. It's still nice and full. No more bounce. I like it. Now, one thing I do wonder from you guys, because like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this. Do you guys put top coat on these, or you just leave it like that? Do you leave it the way that it is? Let me know, because if so, I will go back and do top coats as well. That's all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye. If you like what you just saw, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, click that subscribe button and then click the bell that appears so that YouTube will notify you when I post my next video. And please, tell your friends about my channel. Until next time, be sure to add a little sparkle to every day.